Man, the city of Detroit has been through a lot lately, hasn't it? Unemployment and foreclosures, a widespread problem amid the recession and the auto crisis. The city's public school system, long in trouble, now hundreds of millions of dollars in the red and vastly underperforming. Some of the parents are calling for the teachers in Detroit and school administrators, some of them, to be sent to jail after a sample of Detroit students scored the worst in all the nation in math skills. Here's an idea of how poor these scores really are. In the entire state of Michigan, 5% of students were considered advanced, 0% in Detroit. 30% of students ranked proficient in the state, 3% in Detroit. Basic, 43% statewide, 28% in Detroit. And look out below basic. 22% of the state, 69% of students in Detroit are below basic. In other words, below what is necessary to get by. The man who's serving as the district's emergency financial manager says those scores are similar to children who had never attended school and just guessed at the answers. With us now to talk about the teachers to jail threat, the chief executive officer of the Detroit Parent Network, Shalonda Buckman is with us. Shalonda, thank you. And Tyrone Winfrey is a member of the Detroit School Board, Board of Education. Shalonda, the basics of what you're asking now would be what?
Well, I mean, part of why we're talking about this is because the scores are horrendous. The schools are failing our kids, and the state has a responsibility to provide all kids with a quality education. The NAEP scores suggest that the kids in Detroit are not getting that, and so we need to take, the necessary steps to make sure our kids get a quality education.
You said jail, though, right?
We said jail. There are some people that need to go to jail.
Like what kind of people need to go to jail, teacher types?
When we talk, well, I'll start with saying parents are frustrated and hurt. We know it falls not only on the school, it falls on the parents too. Not
yes,
one or the
it
other.
does.
But when we don't educate our kids well, we're creating pathways for them to go to jail, not to compete globally. And, it's tough to be a teacher in the public school system, but it also is a responsibility of teachers to make sure our kids get a quality education. And so, yes, we are looking at pulling out all the stops because our kids in the city deserve it, and that does include considering civil lawsuits.
Tyrone Winfrey, again, a member of the Detroit School Board, or Board of Education, I guess they call it there. 69% of your students got grades in math, which would be similar, we're told, to people who just guessed. Mr. Winfrey, what is going on in Detroit?
Well, those test scores are horrendous, but at the same time, I'm an administrator at the University of Michigan, and we've had some very successful students that have come out of the Detroit public schools to attend not only our school, but schools across the nation.
Well, that's awesome. 69% scoring in the toilet.
But the other thing is, keep in mind, the operative term you use, that's a random sampling, and also those same students that attend schools in Detroit, their schools made, for the most part, adequate yearly progress, which is AYP. So at the same time, one standard of measure says that you're failing, and another standard of measure says you've been successful.
Sir,
the key thing is
instead of going to jail,
let's wrap ourselves.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's unacceptable, Shalonda, but at the same time, instead of going to jail, let's work together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. We will
Let's work together to do this.
Sir,
we can work together.
We do need to work together. We need to work. We need stronger leadership across the board. We need our legislators to stop debating on race to the top and to get it done. To make a decision. If the
classroom's anything like this, I know exactly what's wrong in Detroit.
Well,
no, we're doing fine.
Now wait, Shalonda, I need to talk to him for a second. You got your shot.
Sure.
You're telling me, what was the acronym that you used again? What were the 3 letters?
I basically said adequate yearly progress, which is part of No Child Left Behind. That's a national
great.
standard.
All the statistic that's really necessary here to know that things are really, really bad is to hear that 69% of the kids who took the test scored as if they just guessed on everyone. And you're talking about adequate advancement. I don't care. If my kid were in Detroit, I'd try to burn the place down.
Well, we don't want to burn it down yet. But my thing is just hope. I was just at, if I can say this, I was just at a school today, Mumford High School. I met with a student that basically had started to fail, had been very successful over the years. But at the same time, this student hadn't been told that she had a purpose in life. She didn't understand vision. She didn't understand goal setting and so forth. So it's not just the parents, it's not just the administrators. We have to, at this point, at this juncture, wrap our hands around these kids. I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to burn Detroit down. I'm a lifelong Detroiter.
I hear you.
There's hope and
vision
vision
in
Detroit.
I'd just be so upset, you know.
I am upset, but at the same time, it's recoverable.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put people in jail. Let's work together and not be in jail to help these students.
Yeah, jail doesn't sound
like
it's
recoverable, and we need help. But this is also about being accountable,
yes,
for the dollars that have been invested in the system. Detroit parents are working hard to do our part, but we need government to do their part.